to that?
Yeah, Meg, we get together, not as regularly as we'd like to, but I think we go out to the group, and right now the little events we have are, of course, competitions, and whoever wins the events, they really get the decision to say, I'd like to give it to this charity within the general area. We haven't talked about, broader national charities, as the focus is really the philanthropy to give back to Reston and the Lake Newport area, et cetera. But right now, that's as simple as it is that we have, not everybody participates, but we have little events, a couple, we have a weight loss challenge, we have a fitness challenge, and everybody participates. And then the winner gets to in the past, they just had this sort of bragging rights of, I won this or I won that. And we decided that put a little money into it, but put that money towards the cause we want to do. So Cornerstones is an easy, I think, first spot for us. We've all been to or participated in the work that goes forward for Cornerstones. And, I think we all believe it's a wonderful thing to take part in. I think as we mature as a group, we'll probably find more, maybe easier ways to identify other charities. And also we may, hopefully there could be other organizations that come to us and say, hey, we'd like to partner with you guys. And, we partnered last weekend, I think it was, or 2 weekends ago, with the new Splash and Dash, helping another core foundation have a successful event. So it's not simply raising money. It's also, there's enough of us that can help others that want to put things together. As Kevin mentioned, the Reston Sprint Try, we had people throughout the course that were helping with the transition areas or the running or the biking. So part of it's just also being involved in the community. And I think it's applicable in a much broader space. As Kevin mentioned, Charleston, and you think about one of our swim team dads was thinking about a broader application, that there's thousands of dads out there that are coaching swim teams or hockey teams or basketball teams, and there's really not there could be more cohesion around, hey, we're doing all this. And we're lucky that we have a lot of a fair amount of the STDs that are in good shape and are passionate about staying in shape, and then there's a handful of posers that just try to keep up. But the goal again is, it keeps us together. We have an annual Father's Day ride that we do, that we try to get as many in, and it's a good way to get everybody out together. But over the course of the weeks and the months, especially this time of year, it's also a way to stay in touch and to have these discussions around what can we do differently, what can we do better, and how can we, back to Missy's statement, when we're doing these things, how can we actually turn it into something more positive?
And I think there's a couple of things. First of all, for those that don't know, I will definitely have in the show notes a link to Cornerstones as well, so you can read about that, because they just do such an amazing job for our community. But some of the things that stood out when you were both talking right now is, I love that it's not just about giving money. It's things that you're passionate about, and it's the community involvement piece as well, right? So you guys are not only giving money, but you're also giving time to things like the Reston Sprint Triathlon and the Splash and Dash, which is kind of like a mini triathlon for the kids, right? Giving back to Cornerstones and talking about other things that you can do. So that's really, honestly, when I had heard those types of things, that's the reason why I really wanted to meet y'all. So what is the best ways for us to connect with the swim team dads?
K-Dot, why don't you take that one?
Yeah, listen, so this is Keith, or K-Dot. There are several ways folks can get acquainted with the swim team dads. Obviously, one of the more accessible ones is the website, swimteamdads.org, which I think, Meg, there's probably an easier way you can probably link that out. But once they find their way to our website, they'll get a nice visual of the guys and what we all do, and how we kind of use the unique backdrop of Reston, which is what I find is one of those communities where fitness is part of the fabric of this community. So when I moved here all these years ago, 17 years ago, partly it was because of the 55 miles of bike paths and different trails that this town had to offer. So you'll see a little snippet on the website of all the guys out on their bikes. And then other than that, you'll see us at the swim meets, obviously on the weekends. And then we have to obviously mention Green Lizard in Herndon, because that's one of our, I wouldn't say clubhouse, but I would say that if there was a Regal Beagle for the STDs, I think it might be the Green Lizard Bike Shop in Herndon. That's a place we all like to meet and start a lot of the rides that we do. Those are 3 quick ways that folks could quickly, and obviously we're, you can't miss us because we have not a uniform per se, but we are very identifiable throughout the W&D, for instance. There's not too many jerseys that will have the letters STD written on them. So
not too many jerseys that own STDs.
Right, exactly. So those are three quick ways that people will find us there. So
awesome.
Yeah, Meg, we are looking to expand our brand presence through things other than bike shirts and hats. So we'll be coming out with neckties and knit caps and all sorts of fun things for the winter. But yeah, a funny story is the sort of the name and the what it means. And, we've had people say, oh, you guys are just, and then we tell them what we're doing. And it's like, well, this is a really good thing that's going on. It's not just a bunch of guys making up a silly name and finding a reason to go out and ride their bikes. But we had, Kevin and I were at the Green Lizard, this is about a month ago, with another STD, and Kevin and the other Alexander were wearing their jerseys. I was not. And we're in there. It's about 8:00 in the morning. And there's a gentleman in there in like a suit and tie. And he says, can I get a picture with you guys? And we said, well, sure. Why not? And he said, he was the health teacher at Herndon High School. And he wanted to take the picture to show his kids, to use it as sort of like a visual for the kids as he was teaching them about STDs. And it's one of those funny events.
Yes.
It was, again, as Keith said, we were at our little Regal Beagle, our clubhouse, and, most mornings you can find 1 or 2 or 7 of us there, especially on the weekends. But we've also felt, the community be willing to support us. Like Keith mentioned, that Beth and Dave at the Green Lizard have been great. And Jason and Melissa at Lake Ann Brewhouse and Heacham at Glory Days, they've been sort of people that have been really good to the group early on. And again, it's not necessarily about making money, but also it's important that we are, we give back to the community. So when we go to dinner, or we have our bikes worked on, or where we're going to buy a new bike, that they know that we're supporting them as well. Because it's not, again, it's about those people that came out. And when we had the jerseys made, those 3 places were definitely the quote unquote early adopters. And one of the next things I think we're going to do, and I know that a lot of the STDs are eager to be part of this, is we're going to hopefully work with Jason over at the brew house to have a beer launch in, we're not sure what we're going to call it yet, but he was interested in having like a 1-day event where he released a beer and everybody could come in, and a portion of the proceeds would go towards the foundation. So
I love it. I'll be there for sure.
No fitness involved there. Well, there'll be elbow fitness, but no real actual.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's lifting weights. Lifting a beer is lifting weights as far as I'm concerned. So, all right. So we just have a couple of minutes left. Is there anything else we need to touch on, or any final thoughts before we wrap up?
A couple things. One is we've adopted a highway. I forgot to mention that earlier, but
okay.
The STDs now own or are responsible for Hunter Station. It's a steep road down towards where Hunter Mill meets the W&D. So we're going to be cleaning that up a couple times a year, hanging our hat there as a road, supported by the STDs. So that's something that people will see it. I don't think it's a really traveled road from a car standpoint, but people who ride bikes definitely know where that is. And that's another thing that we're trying to, not that we're going to adopt a couple more roads, but we did get that one signed up for.
Awesome. Well, listen, we are out of time today. So I want to thank once again K-Dub JB and all the swim team dads. Again, you can reach the swim team dads on their website and a couple other places. I'll make sure the links are all in there as well. Everybody make sure on Thursday you head out to Glory Days in Reston to help support the swim team dads. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thanks, Meg.
My pleasure.
Excellent.
And that's going to do it for today. Nova Weekend Warriors is available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, most places you find your podcasts, and at massagetherapybymeg.com/podcast. And now, through the support of our local sponsors and affiliate links, I'm excited to announce Nova Weekend Warriors has a new logo and its own website address, so you can also reach us at novaweekendwarriors.com/podcast. I'd love to hear from you. Give us a rating on any of the platforms or drop me a line through the website to let me know what your thoughts are. Upcoming topics you'd like to hear, past favorite episodes, anything else. I've been hearing from you more and more lately through social media, the website, and through email, and it's been great. Keep it coming. As a reminder, you can catch Nova Weekend Warriors each Wednesday featuring 15 to 20-minute conversations with the people who make Northern Virginia run, cycle, climb, lift, and swim. Until my next episode, have a great week, have fun with your fitness goals, and enjoy each new challenge you set for yourself or that comes your way. Bye!